Hey guys, and welcome back to a Random Introvert Online. Happy Eid everyone. Today is Eid, Ramadan is finally over, and let's get on with our lives. Now we can have lunch. Today's topic is going to be about the barriers to why you can't marry a Moroccan girl. The thing is, this doesn't apply to guys. Guys have a completely different story from us girls, so I should probably make another video about that. Well, you should ask. Anyways, I'm just gonna start with the topic. Number one barrier is distance. She's far away. Like, how on earth am I supposed to go meet this person, hang out with them, and see if they're right for me? I can't. They're too far away, and sometimes you don't have time to, you don't have any more paid leave from work, and so you just can't find time to go and see that person and meet them. And the thing is, if you're actually serious about marrying them, you're gonna have to make about 3 to 4 trips in 1 year to fix the papers, the engagement, this that, and there's a lot of things to do. And so 1 week vacation is really not enough, and so you're gonna need a lot of time, and that can be a really bad barrier. Number two, she has strict parents. She really can't tell anyone that you're dating her and that she's dating you unless you guys are really serious. So unless it's marriage, an engagement, a proposal, then no one in her family can know about you, which means that she's still gonna need to come home on time. She's gonna need to report every place she goes to, and she just can't meet you and hang out with you freely as much as she wants or as much as you want. And so it may not be very convenient for you. I mean, the person who took only 1 week from work to spend as much time as possible with that person, it really can't happen. Number three, language. And this is a big one. I get a lot of guys asking me to hook them up with Moroccan girls. I do, no problem here, but most of the time the girls are really pretty, but they don't speak English. And so guys find it really hard. Hey, I really like this person, but I also want to communicate with them. And how am I supposed to do that if you don't speak the same language? Today's in Morocco, the first language is Tamazight, then Arabic. We learn French in school, then English, and some people have either French or Spanish as their third language. But that's the thing. English is really not one of our main interests as a country to learn. Things are changing now. This upcoming generation is becoming more of an English speaking generation. However, the past older generations, they don't have that. Unless they're really educated, then yeah, it's like a plus for them. Number four, cultural differences. Ever seen that show from TLC where the guy invited his girlfriend to eat with his family, and they put the entire head of the sheep in the plate and they gave her a fork? Again, we don't do that in my house because you're supposed to clean it on the inside and stuff. That's actually very gross to us too, but some people do it, and I know people that eat it like that. And so that is one of the major cultural differences, and it's one of many. A lot of things we do foreigners just don't seem to accept, and I don't know. Also, this one is very cultural slash religious thing that we do in here. But once you propose to the girl, you assume responsibility for her. So things like providing for her, or just giving her an allowance for her to do what she, to get her basic needs. The girls need tampons, for example. And so this is just a minimum of what we need. And sometimes some men or some girls even go as far as asking, hey, I'm not gonna live with my parents now that I'm with you. I'm gonna need to live on my own. I'm gonna need an apartment that's furnished, and she has every right to ask for that. It's completely fine here. And so if you can't do that, then well, that's also a barrier to why you cannot do that. Now, in some cultures, let's say Europe, especially Nordic Europe, where women are expected to be very independent and well self-sustaining, as much as a Moroccan woman would love to do that, we just can't. Aside from the culture, the fact that there aren't enough jobs for everybody. how am I supposed to do that? Besides, I'm yours now, and you came all the way here to marry me to just make my life live in hell. Why on earth would you do that? I live in hell, by which I mean finding jobs that pay very, very low. And as a married woman, that's quite shameful, to be honest. Like, what type of man would allow his wife to do certain ABC, indeed, type of jobs? And so he's not really a man because, well, he's not being a man and he's not filling the role that is expected from him as a man. Number 5, she needs a green card, of course. This is one that most men try to avoid. Some men only opt for women that already have their papers done. Let's say people that are half Moroccan or born somewhere else. They don't have to go through the drama of, fixing a green card, getting a visa, this, that. It can be expensive, it can be time consuming, it's very frustrating. In Moroccan bureaucracy, trust me when I tell you, it's slow. They don't know what they're doing, so they keep sending you from one guy to the other. I don't know if it's the same thing in your country, guys, but it is here. And well, it can be quite tiring being sent from the same office to the same office, and it's like that back and forth for you not to do. Like, one paper sometimes takes you a whole day or 2 days to make. Why? Because they don't know what they're supposed to do either, and so they keep juggling you between offices. And well, this is like one thing out of many, and so a green card can be quite frustrating to make. And sometimes the green card can take up to a whole year to accept, for the procedure to finish and for the application to be accepted. That can be frustrating to people, I know. And so that's also a barrier. Number 6, this one is not for everybody. Not every girl is like that, but sometimes it is the case. Well, she wants you to support her family as well financially. Why is that? Sometimes, look what they say. I don't know the proverb itself, but one of the most beautiful roses usually tend to grow in like the mud or something like that. And so you have a beautiful person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, but they're very poor and humble. And if she married someone who comes from a different country, then yeah, probably they have the means to do that, to get married to a person from a different country, i.e. they can also support her family financially with ease. And so the girls would normally think it's unfair. Hey, how come I live my life at ease now, but my family is still struggling? Meanwhile, he can do something about it. And this is, I'm talking like when you get married, before her green card is accepted. And so during that period, you are supporting an entire family financially. And some men do it, especially the Middle Easterns. They don't have a problem with that, but it's the Europeans and the Americans mostly that have that issue. And so it's really something you guys need to talk about before you get married. Like, hey, do I have to do this? And sometimes she may ask you as well. Yeah, it's a barrier sometimes because men are like, no, why would I do that? I want you, not your family. Well, no, it's a full package, unfortunately. Number 7 is religion, and this one is a big one here. As a Moroccan woman, your husband needs to, or your fiance would need to convert for you in order to marry you. Whereas with men, a Muslim man, he doesn't really, his wife, his Christian or Jewish wife, doesn't really need to convert to marry him. It's a double standard, but it is what it is. Some men, they don't want to convert, even though it's just for the sake of papers. They don't want that at all in their lives, and so the marriage is automatically annulled. The second option, or second scenario, is in which men convert only for the papers, but then after the marriage procedure is over, they just revert back to old ways. And the thing with that is that women here are really attached to their religion. Like, it's really hard to separate us from how we grew up and what we worship. It's like separating meat and bone. quite tiring. And so with time, even though a woman married a Christian and well, she sees him, he's living his Christian lifestyle, meanwhile she's a practicing Muslim, and well, her life is just not syncing with his as it should be. So some women ask for divorce to leave because their conscience can't just live with that anymore. You have to choose either life or the afterlife. And so with the years, the answer is quite clear to what it's going to be. Again, not everybody, but there's a good majority. Number 3, this is the best type of men. It is men who have already reverted to the religion before they decided they wanted a Muslim life. And yes, those are the ones we should usually opt for, in my opinion. Because it makes life way more easier. They know their duties, they know what they have to do, the culture just makes sense to them, and they can see life through a Muslim lens, which is amazing. It makes life easier. Number 8 is fear. Yes, you are too scared to take the risk of marrying a Moroccan woman. Usually what they say in the world of investing is high risk usually yields high results. And so it really depends on you and what you want. Moroccan women don't have the best reputation in the world in so many other places in the world. Women from other countries, not just saying Moroccans alone, but the things that are associated with us, the negative things that are associated with us can be quite scary at times. As a man, I would definitely be scared. Am I being played? Is she being serious with me? And so I think that some men just, they're too scared to go with it. And so they just drop it and they don't go with it. They don't go along with it. They might trick the girl, they might waste her time, and well, quite a lot of things could happen really. However, they just drop it because they don't want to deal with the problems. Especially things like making her a green card, taking her to a different country. Now, some girls, I would say, guys too, but in this case, if I'm talking about girls, they can just, once they see the different life kind of go in that direction completely and forget who they are and where they came from, and well, that also comes with leaving the guy you were with because he's part of your past, and so you left him for absolutely no reason that makes sense, and he's disappointed, and now he thinks bad of every other Moroccan girl, because in here we really care about representation. Like, if I say something bad, I have represented every other Moroccan bad, so I have to be careful with what I say. Okay, this is my last reason. Number 9, money. You're too broke. You can't afford to come to the country, have an engagement party, have a wedding party, buy the rings and all the other things, and also you're gonna have to spend a lot of money in order for you to change your lifestyle enough for the embassy to be convinced that you can support 2 people. And so money is a big issue here. In this case of wanting to be married to a Moroccan woman. So yes, that's the barrier. And I'll see you guys in a different video.